And now, coming to you live from the Chocolate Bar Studios, Tropical Country with B-Dawg and Lou.
I like the steel drums played with the steel guitar. I go to honky tonks and to tiki bars. I like girls in bikinis and wearing tight blue jeans. I like the fiddle played with marimba thrown in and the conga drum beat behind the mandolin. I was raised in the country but still love the sound of the sea. I wear a cowboy hat with my bathing suit. I'm just a country boy who likes to sit under a palm tree. I'm not all mixed up, I just like my music. Tropical country.
Oh, yeah, it's Wednesday night. It's Hump Day! Happy Wednesday, everybody. Welcome to Tropical Country with B-Dawg and Lou, right here on Tiki Man Radio. We are where the boots meet the beach. We're coming to you live from the headquarters of Tiki Man Radio, the Chocolate Bar Studios here in beautiful Harrison Bay, overlooking the majestic Chickamauga Lake. We're broadcasting to you live on Tiki Man Radio, TikiManRadio.com, and the Tiki Man Radio YouTube channel, courtesy of MFG Records Tropical Live Cam. Our sponsors for the show, as always, JBL Legends Travel. JBL Legends Travel is the official travel company of Tiki Man Radio and partner for the third annual Tiki Man Radio Escape to Paradise, which the upcoming year, they are going to the Dominican Republic. So if you would like more information about that or want to plan any getaway, contact Joe Leo at 732-831-5200. Goaltending Services, GTS Charters, is the premier charter service down in Key West. When you visit Key West, don't sell yourself short. Make sure you see what Key West has to offer out on the water. And there's no better people to do it with than Monty and Gypsy. They're at Goaltending Services. You can contact them at 305-916-0990 or go to gtscharters.com. They are currently upgrading their fleet so they can help you create a more memorable experience. All right. It's been a long time coming. It's been a long couple of weeks. But Laura Lou's back in the house.
Hey, y'all.
How are you?
I am doing fabulous.
Nice to have you back.
I'm glad to be back.
So, not you're a little bit purdy on Golden. I'm just going to say, we've really enjoyed having Golden back over the last couple of weeks.
It was fun to watch.
And I am sure that I think he's got it back in his blood again.
I think so.
So I think we may be seeing a little more of Golden coming up in future episodes, hopefully.
I think he'll pop in now and then.
So, he's got to take advantage while he's off work. So
Right.
Get him in here before he has to go back to bed early.
Right. Yeah, he gets up at some ungodly hour, like 3 o'clock in the morning or something.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yep. And we have a special guest in studio tonight. If you've been paying attention, that we've been advertising it, and talked about it on the Sunday show. But Manalo's in the house with us.
Yeah.
Here. Yeah. How about that?
Hello. Yeah. Happy to be here. Yeah.
We're super excited to have you.
Yeah. I'm happy to be here with you guys. Thanks for having me.
We are going to have a great time. I guarantee you.
And super excited about our swag.
I know. We came in. And
He brought presents.
He brought care packages and he brought them with love. So
That's right.
Yeah, we got the nice little koozies and.
Oh wait, I got to show my bag.
Oh, yep. Look at that.
Oh yeah, perfect for those days on the beach. You gotta throw all your stuff somewhere.
Yeah, and I think for the evening I got to do this appropriately.
He's going to switch the hat.
I'm going to ditch the cowboy hat. And I'm going to wear the Manalo hat for tonight.
Man.
How about that?
I'm honored. I was thinking, it's a shame I don't have Manalo cowboy hats yet.
Oh,
Well,
that would be
next step.
amazing.
Get it on there.
Yeah.
There you go.
We appreciate so much the swag. You didn't have to do it, but we greatly appreciate it.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you guys having me. Yeah.
Oh, we're so glad you're here. I was teasing Tiki Man because he got some swag too. He acts like he's the station owner or something. But so we got a little note that says, "I love B-Dawg and Lou," right, written on ours.
Yeah.
So I was teasing him, and he's like, "I got it written on mine too." I'm like, "Okay, fine."
That's right, because everybody loves the Tiki Man.
Everybody loves Tiki Man.
We love the Tiki Man for sure. So, well, Do you have anything else that you want to get rid of here real quick before we get everything started?
I want to do a couple shout-outs, but we can do that after we get the show started.
All right. Well, we're going to get the show rolling, and as we always do, welcome to the show.
There's a party going on around town. It's one rowdy cowboy throwdown here in H-Town, where we're stronger than a hurricane. From miles around, best of the best come here to put their tough to the test. Give it all for gold or go home broke when they open up that gate. Welcome to the show, welcome to the home of the world's biggest rodeo, where the stars light up the night underneath that Texas sky. Welcome to the show, are you ready for a ride? Yeah, you better buckle up and hold on tight, where the Bayou City streets meet the country roads. Welcome to the show. It's a Houston tradition, 4-H, FFA, and go Texan. And you can bet, son, it's gonna be around a long, long time. When these riders and ropers give it their best, we'll show them how loud the hometown crowd can get. 'Cause tonight, y'all, we all got a little bit of cowboy deep inside. Welcome to the show, welcome to the home of the world's biggest rodeo, where the stars light up the night underneath that Texas sky. Welcome to the show, are you ready for a ride? Yeah, you better buckle up and hold on tight, where the Bayou City streets meet the country roads. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show, are you ready for a ride? Yeah, you better buckle up and hold on tight, where the Bayou City streets meet the country roads. Where the Bayou City streets meet these country roads. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show.
Welcome to the show. It's going to be a great time tonight. I'm a little disappointed not going to be able to get to see him at CMA Fest.
Oh, I know.
But it's all right. It's
well,
all
you never
right.
know who you're going to run into on the street over there.
That's
so.
right. We got a lot going on there, and we'll catch you up on that here a little later. First, how about some shout-outs real quick?
Absolutely. So Michelle Myers is out there, the ambassador of all great things.
Yes.
She says, good evening to everyone and looking forward to Manalo.
Nice.
Josh Clark is out there. Hello
Hey,
to
Josh.
you. And Eric Tittle, he said, Ohio from Jimmy's Hood in Daytona, finally. So
OH, brother. OH.
they posted a really cool thing right before the show.
Oh, yeah.
They had us up on their big screen TV down there in their new home, and so I'm so excited that y'all finally got in there, and it just looks beautiful from the pictures.
does.
So congratulations to you guys.
Yeah.
Golden Girl, hello, I missed you too.
Hello to Claudia Golden, which, of course, that is our producer and manager, Claudia Golden of Golden Entertainment. Been a while since I've had to say that.
I know. And Josh Clark.
Hey, Josh.
Hello to you. Also, Callie says, welcome back, Lou. Thank you so much.
Callie McCool, over
happy
from
to
the
be
left
back.
coast there in California.
That's right. I'm happy to be back. Larice, lovely Larice is out there in the chocolate bar, or probably at the Tiki bar now.
Well, hello to sweet Larice.
And also saw Flaz. He
Flaz
came by and
Noogies,
waved too.
the Flaz Master, Flazmatic, Flaz Rider.
We also have Uncle Alex is out there at the
Yep.
Tiki bar as well.
And, of course, he was our cameraman for our pre-show video.
Yeah.
So thank you to Uncle Alex for volunteering to do
Yeah. Hippie Chick says, hello, hey, y'all from the garden.
that. She's out there working hard.
She was working hard, and it's looking beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be so pretty. Also, Patty with an I is out there.
Of course, that is Patty with Rick's Eye. And of course, when we say Rick's Eye, we're talking about Rick the Stick, who is the host of Rick the Stick's Hometown Licks every Sunday at 5 right here on Tiki Man Radio.
Broadcasting live from his truck.
I know, broadcasting live from a semi-truck. I'm going to tell you that. I keep telling him, you need to change the name to On the Road with Rick the Stick.
Right.
And he could open up every show with On the Road again. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
We're just saying.
You got it. Yeah.
And thank you, Patty, for my welcome back. Hey, Violet is out there listening too, so hello, Violet.
Hello.
And Bobby McQueen
Bobby
is
McQueen.
listening in.
Bobby McQueen, which of course Bobby is our island truck driver.
He's got his son, Robbie. He's out on the New Jersey Turnpike right now. So y'all travel safe, and thanks for tuning in.
I feel so bad for you. We've experienced the New Jersey Turnpike,
Lord.
and I swear I will never do that again.
He doesn't do well in traffic. He's not real patient.
I'm a backroads kind of guy.
Also, want to say hello to the Gartrells. Andrea is out there. Hello to
Well,
you.
hello.
Yeah, so that's all I can find for now, but, I got to search all the sites, so I'll let you know more in a little bit.
All right. Well, in the meantime, we do have a special guest here in studio. Manalo's in studio with us. We are so excited to have you.
Yes.
Hello. It's great to be here. Yeah.
So happy about this.
Yes.
I was listening to him sound check, and I'm just like, oh. Like, your voice has such a relaxing quality. I just love it.
Thank you. Yeah, that's what I aim for, so I'm glad to hear. I'm trying to start a new genre altogether. I'm trying to start a barbecue music genre.
Oh.
Just, you just want to have a couple beers and have a barbecue and just have a
Yeah.
good time. That's where my niche is. So I'm
Nice.
aiming for that. And, I'm a fringe
Nice.
artist for now,
Nice.
Dabble in a bunch of different genres. And, I just want to be that relaxing dude you don't mind putting on at a barbecue.
Well, you are. I'm telling you,
Absolutely.
you're accomplishing every piece of it, for sure.
Absolutely.
Hey, Jody Orr, nice to see you again.
Jody Orr, DJ FX.
It's been a minute.
I know. We are glad to have you back as well. And as we said earlier, we are broadcasting live on the MFG Records Tropical Live Cam on the Tiki Man Radio YouTube channel. If you are watching us, make sure you give us a big old thumbs up. Let us know that you like what we're doing, because, YouTube kind of tracks that sort of thing. So thumbs up does a good job for us as well. Jump in that live chat, say hello so we can say hello back to you. But also, if you have a question or a request from Manalo during the show, please ask it, and we can get your question answered, and you can participate in the interview as much as we do.
Absolutely.
That's right.
And we've already warned him that y'all can be kind of crazy, so he's up for it.
I'm an open book, so it's all good.
That's right. Ask your question.
Yeah.
Well, I guess, we want to get things started. We should just start out with the basics. So, I know I heard you mentioning a lot of different places. So, where is it that you're from, and where do you call home?
Those are tough questions, but so I actually grew up just up the road a little bit in Manchester, Tennessee. I was born in Tullahoma.
Really?
Yep, born in Tullahoma, Tennessee. So Tennessean, but moved to Virginia when I was like 11 years old.
Okay.
And being an 11-year-old kid about to go to middle school in Virginia,
that's a tough age.
You gotta lose that accent quick. So that's the first thing everybody says is, "Oh, you don't have an accent anymore." But you get me drunk enough, and then when I start slurring, I slip back into my roots.
That's the way my mama was too.
Yeah,
she lived in Ohio for, I don't know how many, 50 years?
50, yeah.
And she didn't have an accent anymore, but you bring one of her family members around, or you get her drinking, and she was back to hillbilly. Yep, she was there.
Or when you made her mad, because, I made her mad once, and she says, "Boy, I'm about ready to have a full gun come apart."
Yeah,
and I'm like, "You're going to have a what?"
That's all it'll take.
Which then I found out that's a pretty common saying down here.
It's my favorite saying.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, there's from Virginia. I moved up to Pennsylvania for a while and graduated high school up from Erie, so up in northeast Pennsylvania, but it's is the name of the town, but it's near Erie, Pennsylvania, right on the lake. And I went down to the University of Pittsburgh for college and ended up sticking around Pittsburgh for 10 years before I started working my way south.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, well, I like Pittsburgh.
Are you a
Pittsburgh's-
Steelers person?
So no, I was when I was there, but when I was 8
You
years-
can't live in Pittsburgh and not be one.
That's true. You really got to blend in. And it's all my Steeler fans. They still got part of my heart. But
There you go.
when I was 8, I think, is the year the Titans came to Tennessee.
That's
And so
Well, I wasn't
to
8,
me, it's
but yeah.
always, to me, it's always been the Titans. So I had to hide it for a couple of years in Pittsburgh. But yeah, it's always been the Titans. So yeah, it's still the Titans for me. But and then now I live in Florida near Fort Myers. So
Nice.
kind of traveled around the East Coast a little bit.
Yeah.
But new to Florida, moved there last year. So I've been there for about a year exactly now. So it's been
That's
good.
cool. Well,
Now,
Josh
were you-
Clark says he currently lives in Tullahoma.
Oh yeah.
So yeah.
That's awesome. What's up, Josh?
And Patty is a Steelers fan.
Oh, okay.
Her and I bond because I'm like you. I'm a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, and then once the Titans came, then I now I got two teams.
Yeah.
So, but yeah. So Patty is a Steelers fan. Josh is in Tennessee, so you got lots in common.
That's great. Yeah, that's the nice thing. I got to travel around a little bit and kind of got to take those experiences with me each place I went. So I can relate with a lot of different people all over the place,
Yeah.
which is great. When,
Which, of course, we actually come from not far, about an hour and a half from Pittsburgh in Ohio, is where we're originally
oh,
from.
really? I didn't realize that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Where
So,
in Ohio then?
a little town called Newcomerstown, Ohio, right off
Yeah.
of I-77.
Yeah, I know that town.
Really?
I used to do. I used to be an environmental scientist. That was one of my first jobs out of
Holy
school.
cow.
So I did a lot of the permitting on all the pipelines and stuff.
Oh yeah.
So I
okay.
traveled back and forth from Pittsburgh to Ohio quite a few times.
There
Yeah.
you go.
Well, it's not often that we find somebody that actually knows our hometown and where
Yeah.
it is. So,
That's pretty cool.
Because it's just a little tiny bird.
It's tiny,
so
yeah.
Everybody's like, I said, we're famous for two things. Number one, for baseball fans, we're the hometown of Cy Young. And for all the college football fans, we're the hometown of Woody Hayes.
Yep.
So
There you go.
those are only the two things that we're famous for.
Everything
That's all
else
you
that
need.
Newcomerstown is famous for,
Yeah.
you don't want to know.
Yeah.
We have we have what, 2 serial killers come from there.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got some weird folks around
Yeah.
here.
That's hard.
So that explains a lot about us now,
Yeah.
doesn't it? Yeah.
Well, I always thought that coming out of Tullahoma that I had a really good shot at being the name out of Tullahoma.
Yeah.
And then, what band was that? The Kings of Leon really kind of put
Oh.
me in my place. And so
I didn't realize they were from there.
I didn't either until years later at the show. I was saying I'm from a tiny town, and I
Yeah.
might be the most famous person in that town, even though I'm not that famous. And then somebody's like, "What about the Kings of Leon?" I was like, "Oh." I had to Google search it, and they were correct.
Damn.
Well, I have to ask this question because isn't Dustin Lynch also from Tullahoma?
Probably. Like I said,
I think he's from that area up in there. I think I'm not 100% sure.
I was very bold in assuming that I was the only person. I just figured it was such a small town that I could say it and get away with it.
Yeah.
But,
Well,
Somebody's got to ruin it
I
for
got
you.
called out on
Yeah.
it real quick. It didn't last long.
Well, for us, you are the most important person in Tullahoma.
That's right.
Josh, right?
Next to
Except
Josh.
for Josh.
Yeah. You're number one, Josh.
Well,
love it.
That is awesome. And so, I guess, what got you started in music? Did you start out early in life, or?
Not particularly. I've always enjoyed music, and I always was singing around the house or in the car, and I always could kind of remember lyrics really easily. It was something I always wanted to do, but I never really did. I was really into sports and other stuff like that when I was younger, and I was pretty good in school, which took up a lot of time. And then when I was 16, I was in a really bad car accident, and it almost killed me. And one of my songs from one of my first records is about that. It's called Roll. And
Oh, wow.
kind of those things, waking up out of that, I was in an ICU for 7 days. And you just started thinking about all the stuff that, I was only 16, but I already had this list of stuff that, I never did. And so once I was healed up enough, one of the first things I did was ask my mom to buy me a guitar. And so then I started teaching myself how to play
And at
guitar.
that point, your mom was probably like, anything you want. Yeah.
Yeah. So she got me my first little Fender Lerner guitar, and I started learning Jack Johnson songs on it, and taught myself how to play to a lot of Jack
Wow.
Johnson records, and then got lessons for like a year or so. But then, that was kind of, and so then it was off to the races, and played in some bands through college, but nothing too serious. But it was just fun, and it was a good way to get into bars before I turned 21. Nobody questions you when you carry a guitar case in, man. Even when I was older and my younger brother was hanging around with us, I just handed my guitar and said, "Nobody's gonna ask you a thing, man. Just go right in." He's like, "You sure?"
Cool.
I was like, "You'll be fine." Yeah, so then it took a little later bloomer. So then when I turned 25 is when I really started writing something that I would be comfortable publishing. You know, I'd written songs, but, it's stuff you look back now, you're like, oh, no, So, so it started when I was 25. I put out my first little self-produced EP and then did a full band record and went back to, then I kind of switched up. I was using my real name then, switched up to Manalo and like 2019, 2020, and put out my first self-produced thing under Manalo, and then this year just put out a new record in the clouds. So
what kind of influenced you to assume a stage name?
It was a lot. There were a lot of moving pieces. So in Pittsburgh, we'd had a band. It was a 4-piece band, and we were called James Drake's and the Chris Taylor Trio. And I had the other 3 guys pick their name, and that's what they picked. And we worked it well for a long time, and we played a lot of shows in the area. We got to open for some big names. Tim Reynolds was one of my favorites, for the guy who plays with Dave Matthews a lot. It was pretty fun. But then we started adding pieces or subtracting. If we were going on the road, not everybody could always make it, and it got kind of tricky to have a name like that and go on the road all the time. So one of my favorite bands is called Bahamas, and he's out of Canada, actually. But it's just one word, and it just encompasses everything all the time, so the writing can stay the same. And I love that concept because we were playing anywhere from me solo to a 6-piece to an 8-piece band, or back to the original 4-piece, depending on the stage and situation. And it just seemed to fit better. And so Manalo, for the Pittsburgh people that are tuning in, there's 3 rivers in Pittsburgh. The Ohioans might know this as well, right? The Monongahela, the Allegheny, and the Ohio. So I took letters from each of them and mashed them together to make up Manalo. And
there you go.
Sounded
that
kind
is
of with
cool.
the vibe of the music, but I didn't have to.
It sounds Hawaiian.
It does.
And that'll answer your question, because there was a lot of conversation when you was on the Sunday show about the origin of that name, and that's what they were all thinking was, it sounded Polynesian, Hawaiian and things like that. And now we know it's 3 rivers around Pittsburgh and Ohio. It's from home.
Yeah.
How cool is
How about that?
Yeah. I didn't have to get into a bidding war on GoDaddy.com to buy the domain name, so I just made it up myself. So there's nobody out there with that name, so it worked out pretty well.
That's awesome.
That is awesome. Yeah. That is cool. So, you talk about your musical influences and everything. Yeah, and you mentioned Dave Matthews. I hear a little bit of that kind of style in your music as well. So, now, with that, is that kind of the style that you try to aim at, or you just kind of still experimenting with different, depend upon the mood?
I guess more upon the mood. If I like it, I started out not writing songs down on paper, and then I started writing too many, but I started out not writing them down. And so for me, I had to like it enough to remember it the next day. And if I could remember it, then I would keep working on it. So I wouldn't say like I aim for anything in particular, but it's just if I like it, it's good. I'll keep going with it. But I mean, as far as my musical influences, probably like a Jack Johnson, Donovan Frankenreiter, Matt Costa, G Love, and Special Sauce are kind of more Bahamas. And there's a guy named John Craigie who's like a folk singer-songwriter. So I kind of meet in between all those. But I grew up listening to a lot of like Buffett and Jerry Jeff Walker was one of the first ones I can remember. I think
it's one of Hippie Chick's favorites.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I think one of the first like home videos that there is of me singing is singing Well, I like women on the trashy side. I'm like 2 years old.
A little Confederate Railroad.
Yeah,
I love it.
I knew the words to it already.
I love it.
Yeah, so it's just kind of, then growing up here in Tennessee, you know, it was very heavy country influence here in Tennessee. So, and then got to high school and it was very classic rock influence, and then kind of went through an alternative phase, and I think it all just, I kind of draw what I like from everything. I actually was not a fan of Dave Matthews for a long time.
Oh, really?
My wife is a fan of Dave Matthews, and I thought you could only like one. I was very like I like the Titans now,
Yeah.
So I was like, I like Jack Johnson, Dave Matthews and him are competitive in my head. And you realize music's so collaborative. That's not how it's meant to be. But,
Right.
When I was in middle school and high school and stuff, I was like, it's got to be one or the other. Like, it can only be one. But now, I think I listen to Dave probably more than she does now. But if it's good, I'll listen to it. If it's good music, you can tell good music, you can tell passion behind music, you can tell good writing in music. So I'll listen to anything and everything that is good on the ear.
That's kind of how we are too. We have country's probably what we are most familiar with and what we focus on to our chagrin, because we were both 80s hair band people.
Yeah.
But
I still love my 80s hair band.
Oh yeah, me too. Yeah. But yeah, we listen to just about everything because again, like you said, if it's good music, it's good music.
Yeah.
It amazes us. Until we really started to get into the music business, we really thought, kind of like you like one or the other, and we thought we were special because we liked a whole bunch of different stuff. And then we got to be really good friends with a couple folks who had bands and figured out that this one band in particular, the guitar player for this band, which was straight country, he actually, when he wasn't on stage, he was listening to AC/DC and so I was like, wait a minute, they like different music than they're playing. And so it was kind of cool and now the more we get into it, the more we realize that just about any artist is, if it's good music, it's good music.
It was kind of like back in the day. Remember when CMT, well, I think they still have it, but they had Crossroads.
Yeah.
So, they would combine artists of completely different genres, and they'd be singing each other's music and do it as a collab.
Yeah.
And it was interesting, the different life that a lot of music took just from that collaboration.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of the one I watched. I think it was Keith Urban and John Mayer, maybe. Did they do one together?
Yeah, I think so.
I think
that
they
one
may
was
have,
pretty wild to
It
watch.
was
'cause I
amazing.
never realized how good of a guitar player Keith Urban was.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I'd listened to his music, but I guess I'd never watched it visually enough to realize. And then, during that show a lot, him and John Mayer go back and forth quite a bit. And I was like, oh, wow, that's really cool. But it's really cool. I love that kind of stuff. I'm all about collaboration across, genre lines or whatever. If it's good, it's good. And I think it's so cool because everybody can learn something from somebody else.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't a very big Keith Urban fan. I mean, I liked some of his songs, but I really wasn't a fan. And we had an opportunity to watch him a live show, and it just happened to be that night. It was downpouring rain. It was an outside venue, downpouring rain, and he stepped out in the downpouring rain. He says, "You're getting wet, I'm getting wet."
Oh, that's awesome.
And to actually watch him play in person, it was absolutely
And the
impressive.
whole time I'm like, his guitar's getting ruined,
I know.
But he was playing so fast and so hard that the water was like bouncing off his fingers, and I'm
That's
just
crazy.
like, wow. But and I think he ended up doing 2 encores.
He played for well over
That's
2
wild.
hours.
Yeah,
in the
it was
downpouring
crazy.
rain.
It's very impressive, and it's so cool to see people at that level that are willing to do that for fans.
Yes.
There's so many people at that level. They're set, pack it up and move to the next town. But that's how you know somebody loves what they do and appreciates people coming out to the show. So I'm happy to give people like that my money when I go see shows.
Exactly, and those are the people who really gain fans. There's so many people that you might like their songs, but when you go, and I've got a couple artists that whenever I had the chance to see them, I was so like, oh, that they're not who. Like, they don't act the way I thought they would, or they just weren't real personable with the crowd and all of that. So it was really cool to see, because at that time he was huge. And since you grew up close to there, are you familiar with Jamboree in the Hills?
Oh yes, yeah.
Okay.
I know Jamboree.
Another
Somebody
person familiar with
finally
Jambo.
Yeah, it's funny.
That's where we saw Keith Urban.
Yes.
Oh, really? Oh,
Absolutely,
incredible. Yeah. I'm familiar. I don't actually think I've ever been to Jamboree in the Hills, but I'm very familiar with
they
it.
shut it down
Unfortunately,
now.
it doesn't
It's
exist
done?
anymore.
It's done now? Oh,
It's
wow.
done.
Unfortunately, ownership or control of it went to Live Nation.
Yeah.
And they changed a lot of things, and then it just went downhill from
Oh,
there.
no way. Oh,
So it hasn't been.
And they pulled that whole, we don't have have the money to pay for the insurance on it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you're Live Nation. How do you not have the money?
Yeah.
But yeah.
It's a shame.
But funny enough, though, the campground across the road that all the people stayed at to go to the concert, they decided, well, we're just going to build our own concert venue over here.
Oh, that's great.
And there was like 2 years without Jamboree in the Hills, and then all of a sudden the Blame It On My Roots Fest was born, and it has grown almost as big as Jamboree in the Hills was.
That's awesome.
So
Yeah.
they did pick it up. It's just in a different location across the road.
Yeah.
They
finds
had
a
some
way, right?
issues through COVID, so we'll see if
Yeah.
they do one. But yeah. But it was pretty cool. So I'm so happy to talk to somebody else who knows the excitement of Jamboree in the Hills.
I know. Yeah, I've driven past there when it's been going on.
It's
I
crazy.
never would remember when it was. And then
Oh,
Third weekend in July.
yeah. Third
Where
week in
are we?
July.
That was one of them ones you always booked your calendar. Third weekend
Yeah.
in July,
Yep.
you knew that was Jamboree in the Hills.
that's awesome.
Yep. So Josh Clark said Live Nation's doing the same thing with Bonnaroo.
Is that-
makes
is
me
that what-
sad?
So
You know-
Bonnaroo
Yeah.
is now like, my house was right down the road from Bonnaroo.
Okay.
Really?
Single digit miles. Like, yeah.
wow.
I don't know
Okay.
if that Sitco's still right there on the corner, right on exit 111. But yeah, that's where, like, that's where we get gas all the time. And that was the gas station in town.
Yeah.
And, yeah. We used to just be, and then it didn't start until right after I moved from Manchester. But
Oh, okay.
But yes.
We never got a chance to go there yet, but I've heard several people have told us we should if we like Jamboree in the Hills.
Yeah. Yeah, and we were just talking about that Sunday around the Tiki Bar about we hadn't heard much promotion for Bonnaroo this year.
Yeah.
So it's like, is it still happening? Or because you just, normally it's all over the place.
Yeah.
And we haven't heard much
Yeah,
much
Josh, do you know
about
if they're having it?
I could have sworn I saw a lineup announced a while
Okay.
ago.
Oh, was there?
but-
Okay.
Good.
But yeah, now that you mention it, it's not
Publicized like it
normally
was.
You see it a lot more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Sandra Wilson, how are you?
Well, hello.
Nice to see you.
Yes.
Sorry, I'm going to give a couple shout outs real
Okay,
quick here.
you do that,
for
and
it.
then
And then
I think
Go
it'd
ahead.
be about time to hear some music.
That-
I
yeah.
Yeah.
would love that.
Yeah, Lou's gonna play us a song.
She can sing, but she can't play.
There we go. That's half the battle.
And I'm on the other way. I can't play or sing. So somebody says, "Do you play music?" And I say, "Yep, I hit play."
Play music, yeah.
Exactly, I play music.
Well, I want to give a big shout out to Ed and Pat. They are out there tonight.
Hey, I want to congratulate Ed on a very successful debut
Yes.
of the Peace Train with Ed the Train Man. That show was fantastic.
It was a lot of fun.
We missed bits and pieces of it, but we listened to probably about 90% of it.
Yep.
And really, really had a great time listening to that. So congratulations, and we wish you the most success moving forward with it, because we really had a great time.
We did. Want to give a shout out to Zach Chastain. He is out there tonight. He's been working on some new music
Yeah, Zach Chastain, and of course that would be
with the Cosmic Strangers.
Cosmic Strangers. That's right. I was waiting to see if you remembered.
I did, believe it or not.
And they're releasing some new music, and they will be in studio coming up June 28th, I believe it is.
Yep.
So we look forward to having him in the studio.
Yeah. Patty Campbell, hello to you.
The hardest working woman in show business, because it ain't easy being Patty Campbell.
And of course, we have to say hi to Tim.
Of course, when you say hi to Tim, you just
And-
gotta look, go, how you doing?
Also, want to give a shout out to, let me see. Oh, I wanted to give a big shout out to the bodyguard as well.
Yes.
We forgot him.
AKA the Ice Cream Man.
Right.
Rumor
He
has
has
it.
the coolest commercial ever, the coolest shout out.
Yeah, he had three of them, but I only got the stamp of approval for one.
So yeah, so hello to everyone. So
Yeah.
glad that you are here. Oh, and then one more shout out, sorry, to Aunt Dorothy. She's out there in California and says hello.
Well, hello to Aunt Dorothy.
That's right.
All righty. So, you ready to play?
I'm ready to play.
All right,
think
because
it's
I know
time.
everybody out there is looking forward to hearing you play. Let me shut the door to the bar. So.
All right. So I'll do this first one. I just put a new record I don't know what week it is anymore. Maybe it's 2 weeks ago. Oh, 2 weeks ago now.
Yep.
I've been on the road for a little while, so I can't remember what day is what. But 2 weeks ago now, I put out this record called In the Clouds. You can find it wherever you listen to music, including right here on Tiki Man Radio. This song's called Carolina, and I wrote this song when I was living in Pittsburgh. I was traveling down to Charlotte every other weekend to go see a girl who was finishing up grad school there, and those drives were exciting at first, and then they progressively got more and more boring, driving down I-77 all the time. Oh, thank you. Tiki Man himself with the delivery. And so I wrote this song kind of just banging on the steering wheel. It's called Carolina, and it all worked out in the end because I ended up marrying her, but this song's called Carolina. And on the record, there's a super cool addition. I got to work with Matt Costa, I've been listening to him for 15 plus years, way more than that actually.
I'll say that name sounds familiar to me.
So he's always worked with Jack Johnson, but he's always kind of just done his own thing. He likes making films and music and stuff, so he kind of likes doing what he likes to do. Yeah. And I got linked up with him to promote the record, and he has a network of great musicians. So there's a guy up in Seattle, Jay Cardong, who does some pedal steel on the song, and I'd never had pedal steel on any of my songs before, and I don't know if I'll ever go back now. So check it out on the record.
Well, if you got some pedal steel, you're borderline country there.
That's what I say. I like to blend the genres. I don't stick myself in any particular one. But
we love it.
Yeah, this song's called Carolina. 5 o'clock, pack up, it's time to hit the road. 500 miles to go. Time unwinds, but it is never on my side. Where my heart leads, I will go. Yeah, here I go. Carolina, and I'm racing the stars like the wind. Yeah, here I go, Carolina, and I don't know when I will see you again. Staring down these yellow and white lines, line in my rear view. Sun is setting over the Blue Ridge, yeah, and I'm on my way to you. Yeah, here I go, Carolina, and I'm racing the stars like the wind. Yeah, here I go, Carolina, and I don't know when I will see you again. Up ahead, yeah, I see the Queen City's lights. I hear the gravel in your drive. Your front porch light, yeah, cuts through the night. And in your arms, I know that I have arrived. Yeah. Well, here I am, Carolina. I race those stars like the wind. Yeah, here I am, in Carolina. And I don't think that I will go home again. Yeah, here I go, Carolina. And I'm racing stars like the wind. Yeah, here I go, Carolina. And I don't know when I will see you again. Yeah, I don't know when I will see you again. Yeah, I don't know when I will see you again.
I love it.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Can I
Thank you.
say 2 words to you, and I hope it's a compliment to you, but James Taylor.
Oh, thank you.
Really, that's what that's what that brought to mind.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I haven't heard
really
I
good.
love you have a very unique quality about your
He
voice.
does.
And yeah, I love that.
Thank you. I appreciate
Everybody that's chatting says they love that song.
that. Awesome. I appreciate that very much. Yeah, I hadn't heard James Taylor yet. Recently, I've been getting a lot of Neil Young. People have been coming up to me asking for a lot of Neil Young. And I was like,
I would lean more toward the James Taylor. Yeah.
In writing styles, I probably align myself more with a James Taylor type
Yeah.
writer than a Neil Young. But I have nothing against Neil Young. But there's like, can you play this? I'm like, not really. But it's a good song. I just don't know how to play it.
Right. You're like, but on a side note, I write music. I can play any of my own.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, I got this one for you. They're like, that wasn't James Taylor or Neil Young.
Yeah.
Like, no.
I love it.
That is awesome. Now, I know, speaking of Carolina, I mean, you said you've been all over the Carolinas as well?
In the past, my brother-in-law still lives in Charlotte, so I actually was just up there not too long ago. Then I work with a group called the Plastic Ocean Project, and they do a lot of work to clean up the oceans from plastic and raise awareness about plastic pollution and all that kind of stuff. And they actually made me a global ambassador for them recently.
Oh, how cool.
Well, I guess now it's been a couple of years, but I like to, since I haven't been there since COVID, but I'm trying to work on something this fall to get back there and maybe bring in a name or two from the coastal Americana or trop rock community to kind of merge the worlds a little bit. But there are
We
a lot
happen
of
to
good
know
people
some
there.
people.
Yeah.
That's great. That's great. Yeah.
Tiki Man knows even more than us.
I guess speaking of meeting people, have you been able to meet a lot of the artists within the genre of coastal Americana?
I've been working on it. So from here on out, the schedule's a little busier, but the early half of this year before I'd put out the record is kind of nice because I had only local shows like just nearby where I was kind of finishing up how I was going to play things and, kind of testing some things out. And there were some big events nearby during that time, and I would just go as a spectator, and I knew a couple people here and there, and
That's cool.
Luckily they were very kind enough to walk me around and introduce me to a lot of people. So I'm working on it. So I love it. And like I was saying earlier, I think collaboration and networking is such a huge part of being a musician. You can write all you
Absolutely.
want, but if you're not willing to put yourself out there and just meet people on a social level, even if it is tough or a little awkward, it makes
Right.
things difficult. So I've been trying to meet as many people as possible, and it's been really cool.
And that's what the Tiki Man, he says, told many people, about going down to Key West during your songwriter showcase. There's been some artists that are brand new to the genre, so to speak. And he's like, you don't even have to play. Just come down and wander, and you'll find places to play.
Yeah.
But the amount of networking that you're going to be able to do with other singers-songwriters, that in itself is invaluable, and that will pay going in the future. So,
Tiki Man Songwriter Showcase.
the Tiki Man Radio Songwriter Showcase, Key West bound.
He's like, I happen to be a songwriter.
I might have to head down there.
So,
Yeah, and also here at the summer party in a couple weeks, if you're going to be in the area, I know you said your schedule's getting busier, but every year Tiki Man has a summer party out back, and there's several musicians that play all day and that come to the party and things like that. So you're welcome to swing by and join us.
He was telling me about it. It sounds like a great time. I hear Jonas Lawrence is coming up this
Yes.
year, and I'm actually sharing a stage with him in 2 weeks.
Oh, how cool.
that is
Florida,
cool.
the Habitat in Florida. Yeah, a little house concert action. And Jonas is one of the people I've met a handful of times, and every time he's just a very
Super
nice
nice guy,
person.
yeah.
So I'm really looking forward to sharing that with him. So
Good.
I'm sure here it'll be a lot of fun too.
Oh, yeah.
yeah, well, we mentioned the summer party, so how about I just bring that information up there. Of course, that is coming up. It is the 16th annual Tiki Man Radios, the Tiki Bar Annual Summer Party. It's July 8th, 2 p.m. Of course, Steve Hopper will be here from 3 to 6, the Jonas Lawrence Band from 6 to 9, and special guest is Bert Herbert. And it's going to be a great time. That's where you can come and hang out with all of the Tiki Man Radio crew and friends and family and everybody. It's a great time. So we definitely invite you to come out and enjoy all of the fun that we have here. So that's great that you're going to be able to get that and because Jonas is a fantastic guy, great musician and songwriter. So
He really is.
that'll definitely. I look forward to seeing if you guys are able to collab and write and what would come out of that.
I hope so. Yeah, I think that's what's cool. So again, like I said, everybody kind of brings their own little flavor to things, and I'm excited to work with some people on this side of things a little more, and the more traditional coastal side of things, and see what can come out of it. Yeah, 'cause it's, like I said, I've been right on that fringe, and so I think it'd be really cool to work with anybody. Yeah, so it's really cool. I'm looking forward to it. I'm sure. I mean, he's a phenomenal guitar player, so I'm sure I can open up a little. You know, I say, hey, it's 4 chords, bro. You'll get it, and yeah, I'm sure they'll be able to hop in, and show everybody his skills a little bit there.
Yeah, that is awesome. So, do you want to go ahead and play another song?
Yeah, absolutely.
Since we got your whistle wet, you know.
That's awesome. Well, then I should do a song with a whistle in it, probably. Yeah.
Well, that could work.
So this song. This is a song that really kind of got me introduced to everybody, including here at the Tiki Man Radio. This is a song I sent out to everybody from my previous record that's called By the Sea, and this song is called Live by the Sea. And it kind of really got my name out in front of some people that enjoyed the song, and gave me some opportunities to meet more people and go out to events, and led to me being here today. So
nice.
This one, yeah, Live by the Sea. Yeah, I wrote this song really quickly, actually, and wrote and recorded it all in the same night. And I was joking that we were living, my wife and I were living in Virginia at the time, and it's a not so subtle hint that I wanted to go move by the beach. And then 3 years later, sure enough, we moved down to Florida. So chipped away. Took 3 years, but slowly but surely, the song chipped away, and we ended up down in Florida. So this is Live by the Sea. It's the sound of the ocean, the smell of salt on the breeze. Honey, if it don't make no difference to you, yeah, I think I'd like to live by the sea. Yeah, I think I'd like to live by the sea, where we can hold hands as we walk through the sand. We'll laugh at the birds on the shore. When the weather gets hotter, we'll just jump in the water. You and me, I don't need nothing more. We'll listen to the waves as they sing us a song. Soon we'll be singing our own. We'll plant a tree or start a family. We can do what we want in our home. Miss the sound of the ocean, the smell of salt on the breeze. Honey, if it don't make no difference to you, yeah, I think I'd like to live by the sea. Yeah, I think I'd like to live by the sea. We'll be sipping coladas at the end of palapas. We'll watch the clouds in the sky, soaking up sunshine, just living our best life. We'll listen to the sea as she cries. We'll teach our kids to be good people and remind them they can always come home. You and me in a little house by the sea. What a wonderful way to grow old. I miss the sound of the ocean, the smell of salt on the breeze. Honey, if it don't make no difference to you, yeah, I think I'd like to live by the sea. Yeah, I think I'd like to live by the sea. The sound of the ocean, the sway of the palm trees. Honey, if it don't make no difference to you, yeah, I think I'd like to live by the sea. Yeah, I think I'd like to live by the sea. Oh, well, maybe we could live by the sea.
I love that.
Thank you. That's your beach trip or barbecue song right there.
Hey, that'll work. That'll work. Now we was talking about your writing process. How does that normally? Do you have a standard way you go about it, or like you said, you get a lot. You start but don't finish. Come back to, because I know I ask this question of every singer-songwriter because I'm interested to learn because it seems like everybody's process is very, very different.
Yeah, it's a mixed bag, I'd say. And the first half of my tour, I was actually traveling with my buddy Rev Ezra, who's a little more on the country side. He's in a couple of honky-tonk bands too on the side. But he's a great songwriter. So we've done a lot of things together over the years. And we were doing a lot of driving and kind of talking about it. And it's kind of funny to think, but it kind of varies. For me, my phone is full of me playing guitar and whistling. I hear something, but I just don't. Sometimes the words take me a little while I like it to mean something, I like the words to mean something. I don't have many fluff songs or anything. There's usually a story or like something I'm feeling or something that happened I'm trying to like reflect on in it. But now I'm kind of writing a couple that are more fun. I think being in Florida for a little bit, seeing sunshine, from going from Pittsburgh where it's
it can be very depressing.
It's kind of switched up my attitude a little bit, but
it's amazing what some warm weather will do for you.
I know, it's funny. We were talking on the trip, and Rev looked at me. He's like, "Yeah, I can tell you moved down to Florida." I was like, yeah. But it's a mixed bag, really. Sometimes there's a couple songs I might play one later where the lyric came to me first, and that is rarer to me. I just like to play guitar a lot, and like I said, I am primarily self-taught with like a year lesson there when I was real young, and I just like to keep playing guitar. So, I'll just start noodling around, and then I'm like, oh, that sounds cool. So I'll, kind of do.
So typically the melody comes first.
Typically that's what comes first. That's the way, it's not even trying to. It's me just kind of playing around, just like relaxing, and I liked that. That sounded cool, and then kind of do a little quick voice memo on the phone and save it for later, and then kind of revisit if I have something like, I'd really like to write about X. I'm like, ooh, this would match up perfectly with that thing I was playing the other day. So, so kind of that's more the process. It's rare that I start with a lyric. I like to start with melody, I would say, first. Melody is very important to me. And that's what I guess.
And you can tell in your music, yeah.
Really? Oh,
yeah,
thank you. And that's
you really
what
can.
Rev pointed out to me too. He's like, because he's a great storyteller, songwriter. Like you listen to his songs, and it's like almost like reading a book, and I enjoy that a lot. But he was telling me, he's like, man, you just write choruses. He's like, your choruses are just like, boom. He's like, that's just not how I write. And I was like, I never realized that is how I write. And we were sharing some stuff we were working on, and I was like, well, I only got choruses to these. He's like, yeah, of course you do. And I was like, dang. I was like, yeah, you
chorus is often the hard part, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what I thought. That's usually where I start, and then I fill it in. So it's funny. But yeah, I do typically start with a melody first. I got something kind of in mind.
Well, speaking of musician friends, Ed, the train man, wants to know if you have ever heard of Forest Sun.
Forest Sun, I have not heard Forest Sun.
He said, Forest Sun, you sound a lot like him.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah,
oh, awesome.
So maybe you need to check out.
I will check out Forest Sun.
I can be honest with you, I'm not familiar.
I'm not either, but we're going to be. Because we're going to look it up now.
We're going to check it out.
Yeah.
Forest Sun, I'll check it out for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Ed, when I talk about eclectic music taste,
Ed
has a very wide eclectic, and he loves that retro, the 60s, 70s, early 80s sound, and a lot of musicians that I've heard him name, I'm like, I've never heard of these people, and so.
But you know what? That is the coolest part. Like, you can tell. I mean, a lot of people are music fans, and. Of course, we know the top 40 stuff, and we know the stuff they play on the radio. But when you start getting into those independent artists, or even the artists that are not independent, but they're not, quote-unquote, mainstream, those, to me, are the real music lovers that dig it. Like, if I listen to an album, typically I will fall in love with a song that was never released as a single.
Yeah.
Those buried songs that are... Those are the music that I like. So I think Ed pulls a lot of those kind of songs out. It makes it really, really cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I enjoy that.
Some
too.
of them songs, like we used to call back in the day, the B-side.
The
Yeah,
B-sides,
yeah.
B-sides, the deep cuts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Michelle Myers said you have definitely. She was born and raised in Charlotte,
Oh, awesome.
which is
Very
something
cool,
I didn't
Michelle.
know.
No, I did not.
And you definitely channeled the Carolina vibe.
Awesome. I appreciate it.
I love the Carolinas. I know we have talked about it on this show many times. I used to live in North Carolina. I was in the Marine Corps. I was stationed at Camp Lejeune.
Mm-hmm.
I lived out the back gate in Sneads Ferry, which is just across the bridge from Topsail Island.
Yeah.
And I spent a lot of time there. I fell in love with the Outer Banks and that side of the Carolinas, and it's always been my dream to get back there. And I've said if I was going to settle, I was going to settle there. Tennessee was never, ever
Nope.
on my radar at all.
Yeah.
And just by fate, we ended up here. And I can honestly say that nothing but good things. Well,
Yeah.
let me take that back. We've had a lot of tragedy since we have moved to Tennessee.
Yeah.
But out of that, we have been blessed beyond measure
Right.
with the amount of friends that we've made and the opportunities that's come our way
Yeah.
from being here. So going back, I wouldn't do it any other way. But I still have a love for the Carolina coast for sure.
Well, Josh Clark said he loves OBX as well. Patty with an I says that she loved the whistling of the song.
Oh, thank you.
And
Yeah.
I was listening. I had to step out because I started coughing, and I was listening to you standing around the corner, and I'm just like, how does he whistle like that? Like, I don't know. You had your own little melody
Tell you what,
going. So
if I
yeah.
could only whistle and never sing, I'd be a lot more popular than I am.
I don't know about that. but
If I could find the whistle crowd,
That would be the niche.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
would be it. Yeah, that's where I got to find my people.
there you go.
Well, I'd listened to some of his music, and I know he talked about some of the songs he was going to be playing, and so I set him up there when he got a brink by him wetting his whistle. So
There you
I just
go.
kind of guided him to.
There
I
you
like
go.
that song, so thank you for doing that.
Well, a lot of people really love that song.
Great.
There were.
I'm glad.
Yeah.
I just found something new on YouTube. You know how on Facebook, when somebody's on Facebook Live, you can hit the heart a bunch of times, or on
Yeah.
TikTok or whatever. YouTube has it now.
Oh, wow.
I noticed.
So while you were singing, all these hearts were
Oh,
flying up
that's
the
great.
screen.
I
Yeah.
noticed that the other day there was like on the Sunday show there was like a big red heart in the corner.
Yes, that's it.
covering up part of the chat. So
Yeah, that's it.
I had to wait for somebody else to comment so I could read the rest of the chat there. So that's what that's all about. So
Yep.
now you can multiple heart it as well. So
That's right. Well,
that's
just-
right. Give him all the hearts in the world
Give
you
me the
want. We
heart.
love
That's
it.
right.
Actually-
and
oh, sorry. Yeah,
I'm so
go for
sorry. I
it.
don't mean to
No.
interrupt you, but I wanted to congratulate you. A few months ago, I believe in February, you were the Beach Buddha Artist of the Month.
I was.
Yeah.
I was. That
so
was incredible.
thanks to
Yeah.
Buddha for introducing you to us.
Did you
Yeah.
said it?
Oh, I did. I said Beach Buddha.
Because you can't say Beach Buddha without talking about the official coffee of Tiki Man Radio. That would be Beach Buddha Coffee. If you want to see more about Beach Buddha Coffee, go over to TikiManRadio.com, click on that coffee tab, and see which roast suits you most.
The best roast from coast to coast.
That's
Oh,
right.
there you go.
Best roast, coast to coast. Take a trip. We'll have a
I
sip.
actually need to re-up my order. I need some more. It's the
Oh.
best.
What's your
Yeah.
favorite so far?
So I just drank the Holiday Bay. That was the one I just
yep,
finished. I think
that's
I
a
was
good one.
saving that one because I knew that was one of the more popular ones, and it was really good. Now I can't remember which one I started with.
I'm a Coconut Bay guy.
Might have been that one. It might have been that one, but I like them all on it.
She doesn't like coffee, but she loves to smell Coconut
I
Bay.
love whenever he
brewing.
brews coffee. Yeah. The Beach Buddha coffee brew is like air freshener for your home.
It
Like,
smells so good.
It does.
Yeah. On the weekends, I set my little timer, and then when I wake up, it's already brewed.
There
it's
you
a great
go.
way to wake up.
Yeah, she hasn't grown up yet to be able to stand the taste of coffee. She's still a Mountain Dew addict, so
Sorry.
And it's happening now.
It is happening
it
now.
is. It is. So
And with Beach Buddha, I keep trying to get him to do cappuccino because I can drink cappuccino. I like that.
you are just like your mother. That's all I'm going to say about that.
I get that a lot.
She'd always be like, "Oh, cappuccino."
Yeah, she would. I introduced my mom to cappuccino about 2 years before she passed away because she was a coffee drinker, like never did not have a cup of coffee in her hand. And kind of like me with Mountain Dew. And so I introduced her to cappuccino one day. I think I had gone down to the store to get some. I don't remember. But I was like, Mom, taste this. Oh my Lord, that was the worst mistake I've ever.
She was hooked.
She was hooked, and I'm like, coffee comes in these big canisters, and you can, no, cappuccino comes in these wee little. I was buying them things like 5 and 6 at a time because to me, cappuccino
She would
is
double
a
up
treat.
on that. Yeah.
Yeah. For her, it replaced her coffee.
Yeah.
And it wasn't as strong as coffee, so she would add extra cappuccino in there, and I should have taken out stock in it.
That became the baseline. Then coffee was no good anymore.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, I taught her one day. I'm like, here's a little trick to make it last longer. I'm like, use the cappuccino in your coffee as your creamer.
Yeah.
So it'll thicken up your coffee a little bit, and you still get the taste. So it didn't work.
No.
She said it don't taste the same. And 4 scoops later, she's sitting there stirring it up.
Yeah.
She fell in love with it for sure.
Well, Callie agrees with me that there's nothing like a fresh, hot cappuccino. The ambassador says Rising Tide Espresso is her favorite.
Oh, that's a very good one too. Yeah.
And Holiday Bay.
Holiday Bay.
Patty with an eye loves Holiday Bay.
Yeah, that's the one I just drank recently. That one really hit the spot. It had a lot of good flavors to it. That might be my order. I might just go all Holiday Bay.
There
next
you
time.
go.
Yeah, it's a good one.
B-Dog likes the coconut bay with the almond joy creamer.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I will, like I tell everybody, I've been a coffee drinker for a long time, but I was always with, coffee, what kind of creamer I wanted. My coffee I wanted with my creamer, basically. It was all about the creamer. But I can honestly say I use very little creamer with the Beach Buddha coffee, and it is literally the only coffee I can stand to drink black.
Yeah.
And so I do still put creamer in it, but it's not nearly as much. But yeah, the Coconut Bay, if you put a little, it don't even have to be the Almond Joy, just eat a little bit of a mocha or some kind of a chocolate creamer, a little bit in that.
Yeah.
Takes it to a whole new
I
level.
bet. I've actually always, I've become a just straight black coffee drinker, but with the Beach
So you're
Buddha,
a grown-up and everything.
I guess.
I'm not a grown-up.
Only in coffee drinking, I guess. I'll take it. I'll take the points. But yeah, the Beach Buddha coffee, it's just like, man, this is turning into a great ad. Just a great.
I know.
This is why Buddha loves us.
I'll leave my address here. You can send me a.
There you go.
You'd think he would be a sponsor of the show, but he's not.
I know.
But we just love Beach Buddha coffee that much. We love Buddha as a person because he's just a generally kind human being. So.
I will say I've only ever met him virtually or through phone calls, but anytime he's so kind and excited and just seems like a great. I'm excited to meet him in person. He's a person I've not met in person yet.
Bunch of fun.
And I'm really looking forward to it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Patty with an eye said we're making her want a good cup of coffee now.
Well, I will tell you also, you know what else goes in Beach Buddha coffee perfectly? And again, this place should be.
This is from the ambassador.
I got this from the ambassador, and I talked about so much. They should be a sponsor, but the ambassador introduced me to Buffalo Traced creamed bourbon.
Ooh, I haven't heard of that.
You put that in coffee.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that makes a damn good cup of coffee.
Wow, I'm a big bourbon guy. So
there you go.
Buffalo Trace cream bourbon.
And it has to be the Buffalo Trace brand for whatever reason.
Yeah, because I've tried others and it doesn't compare.
All right, I'll check it out.
So that's when you want those real good cup of coffee.
That's right.
I haven't had this yet with Beach Buddha, but I get espresso martinis are big right now. I bet his espresso would be really good in a martini.
Oh.
Well, one year when we were a couple years ago when we was at the Tiki Man Radio Songwriter Showcase, Key West bound, he was actually making coffee shots and passing them out during the showcase, and they became very, very popular.
Yeah.
So, but speaking of sponsors, we need to give our sponsors some love. So we're going to take a break. We're going to refill our drinks, and then we are going to come back and continue this great interview with some great live music. But how about I'm just going to leave you out into the commercial break with a little Manalo's Free.
There's this feeling in my head and it is bringing me down. Are you feel what I'm feeling too? Cause I'm standing at the water with my toes in the sand, but all I see is an ocean's blue. And I say, what's it for, where's it all, what the hell are we fighting for? Is this all a dream? Because there's still a part of me finds it hard to believe that this is all it's supposed to be, cause things aren't as they seem. So I let it out, these fears that I don't talk about. Let them out, it will be free. There's a screen in my head and it is bringing me down. Are you see what I'm seeing too? Trying to see my friends and family all over the world, but all I see are things that I'll never do. And they say connect with me so we can see that we don't live that differently, but we're just counting views. It's all about getting likes, it's not real life out here using filters like we got something to prove. So I let it out, these fears that I don't talk about. Let them out, it will be free. There's this voice in my ear and it is bringing me down. Are you hear what I'm hearing too? Trying to live my life and do my part for the world, but all I hear are things that he's trying to do. So I let it out, these fears that I don't talk about. Let it out, let them out, it will be free. Let it out, these fears that I don't talk about. Let them out, it will be free. Let it out, these fears that I don't talk about. Let it out, it will be free.
Hey y'all, this is B-Dawg
And Lou.
from Tropical Country, B-Dawg and Lou, here to tell you about our sponsor, JBL Legends Travel.
JBL Legends Travel is your full-service travel agent. They specialize in cruises, all-inclusive resort vacations, destination weddings, and romantic getaways. They're dedicated to offering you the best prices and advice, all while maintaining an emphasis on customer service.
So don't hesitate to contact them so they can start planning your next travel adventure. You can contact them at 732-831-5200 or check them out online at jbltravelgroup.net.
Mom needs rest. We need a vacation. Daddy's stressed. We need a vacation.
Passenger jet swiped my visa and I'm good as gone. I've got no bags to check, broken heart in my chest is the only thing I carry on. When I go wheels up, hope I touch down in a low tide seaside kind of beach town with palm trees and strong drinks and a couple thousand miles between her and me. I really didn't think this through. No, put me on the next flight and I'll go, just hoping that I land somewhere on an vacation from my situation. A one way is just fine with me. Tropical destination is the medication I need. Yeah, when I go wheels up, hope I touch down in a low-tide seaside kind of beach town with palm trees and strong drinks and a couple thousand miles between her and me. I really didn't think this through. No, put me on the next flight and I'll go, just hoping that I land somewhere on an island. Somewhere on an island far away. I know that the second I board that plane, yeah, I'll be fine. I'll take to the skies and leave her goodbye sitting at that gate. When I go wheels up, hope I touch down in a low-tide seaside kind of beach town with palm trees and strong drinks and a couple thousand miles between her and me. I really didn't think this through. No, put me on the next flight and I'll go, just hoping that I land on my feet in some white sand. Yeah, I'm hoping that I land somewhere on an island. Somewhere on an island.
Hey y'all, this is B-Dawg
And Lou.
from Tropical Country right here on Tiki Man Radio. Next time you take a trip down to the Key West and you want to get out on the water, we want you to check out our sponsor, Goaltending Services. Goaltending Services is the premier charter service in Key West. They offer a wide range of amenities. Goaltending Services is also a veteran-owned company, and they take care of their veterans and active duty personnel by offering a 25% discount with your veteran or military ID. For more about Goaltending Services, give them a call at 305-916-0990.
Or look them up online at goaltendingservices.com.
Off the coast on a boat, drop a rock on the radio.
Hey, this is Manalo. You're listening to Tropical Country with B-Dawg and Lou on Tiki Man Radio.
Where do you go when you lose your mind? Running in circles, but there's nowhere safe to hide. Where do you go to escape, babe? Just as quick as a blink, you think that you've already gone insane. Breathe in, breathe out. Remember what it's all about. Look inside and know that it'll be. Where do you go when you lose control? Sailing towards the edge and sea, but we got no oars to row. Where do you go to escape your fear? You're always chasing your frustration, but you know there's no answer here. Breathe in, breathe out. Remember what it's all about. Look inside and know that it'll be. Where do you go when you lose your mind? Running in circles, but there's nowhere safe to hide. Where do you go to escape quick, 'cause I think you think that you already gone insane. Breathe in, breathe out. Remember what it's all about. Look inside and know that it'll be.
And of course, that's Manalo. Where nice little bookend there, open the beginning that commercial break there with some great songs there. Free. Can you tell us a little bit about the background of that song?
Sure. So Free is the first track off of that By the Sea record. It's actually both of those are from the By the Sea record that I put out in 2020. Which was a really cool time to put out a record as a touring musician, because that worked out really well.
Yeah, not much touring going on, was there?
Yeah, not at all. So both of those songs actually self-produced and recorded in my house, and so that whole project, I did everything myself, all the instruments, all the producing, recording. I just wanted to do it. I hadn't put out a record in a while, and it's kind of those things. I was writing songs, but I kind of had a very specific in my head of how I wanted it to be, and I didn't know how to explain it. So I was like, you know what? I got some time. I'll just make it. So that song's just kind of like you're kind of stuck places, but you want to be other places. So it's kind of turned into a really good lockdown song because you're kind of dreaming about. It's always about like you're always wanting to be somewhere else. You're always comparing yourself to who you see on your phone. If it wasn't for music, I say this all the time. If it wasn't for music, I would have gotten rid of social media long ago and just gone fishing or something else, but you're always comparing yourself to all these people on their phone, and so that song is kind of about just breaking out of that and everything you hear, everything you see, everything you feel, and just getting away to that free place.
I can 100% agree with you.
Tiki Man Radio right there.
If it wouldn't be for the fact of the radio station, I probably wouldn't have it either, because I used to say I had
family.
I had Facebook to keep up with family. But my kids are getting rid because they're like, Facebook is for old people. We're never on. We're not on Facebook. So
and it's sad with all the algorithm stuff. You barely even see the people you want to see on Facebook anyway. So it's pulling teeth to try and get your stuff to the people you want to see it, and then see the stuff you want to see. So it's kind of one of those necessary evils. But that song's kind of about navigating all that, and just kind of being free, setting it all aside and being free. I
love that.
So. Whenever it comes to social media, I got to take lessons from the Tiki Man, because he's always like, now, did you tag this? Did you hashtag this and all that? And I'm like, no, because I forget about it. I'm like, I say what I got to say, put a picture with it, boom, and then I know, and then afterwards I'm like, oh wait, go back, edit, post, and I end up doing it 4 or 5 times, because then it's like, oh my God, that word's misspelled. I got to go back and do that. I am very poor at editing and proofreading, because my brain, I read it exactly the way I intended it. It may not say that, but it read exactly the way I intended it.
Not only that, but we all joke about B-Dawg's tone, right? He has that tone even when he's
I don't have a tone.
He has a tone. So even when he posts, I'm like, you sound so mean. Put like a smiley face or an exclamation point or something.
Yeah.
And he's like, listen. So now he types it all out, and then he just goes, here. So if it sounds nice on Facebook, it's because Lou proofread.
Well, you got to understand, I have spent an entire career, typing out papers and statements and things.
Yours is all like court ready.
It's all legal court documents. So it's all serious. So sometimes I have a little bit of trouble. I come off with just a little more too serious.
He's like, just the facts. Just the facts.
As they say, that's my writing style.
Well, hello to Monica, joined us out there, the producer of the Sunday show.
Well, hello, Moni.
And
we got to say hello to Vacuum Cleaner Tom.
Absolutely. And Miss Maureen just joined us. She said business, travel, and dinner. So
about time, Maureen. I even did a pre-show video just for you, since you called me out last week. And then all of a sudden we did the video, and it's like, where's Mo?
I know.
Mo ain't there.
I know.
And, it felt like, a very valuable person within that whole process was missing. Just like last week, the last couple of weeks, Lou was missing. Well, now this week on the video, Mo was missing.
Yeah,
so
Mo was missing.
it's about damn time. I'm just joking. We love you, Mo.
We do love you, Mo. Today was a travel day, she said. She's on a trip to a North Carolina town.
She's always on a trip.
I know. Listen, I need to live her life. I live vicariously through you, Mo.
We live vicariously through a lot of people.
She said, damn, I'll go look for it. I love it. I love it.
Oh, my. But we played the song Where. Mm-hmm. So you want to give us a little background on that?
Yeah, a little background on that, too. It's kind of watching family members grow older and kind of wondering about what happens and where we go and where our mind takes us and what happens at that point. And so that's kind of where that one kind of sprouted from. And it's just kind of one of those things. It's a question, but in the end everything's always going to be all right, and that's kind of the underlying tone to that song. So it's kind of a word that's never said in the song. It always says look inside and know that it's going to be, and then it's kind of an understood all right, but it's never really said in this song. But that's kind of what that one's about. But it's got kind of an upbeat kind of sound to it for that. Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah, Lou and I are always asking each other, where the hell did all our energy go?
Yeah.
When the hell did we ever when did we get old?
When did we have to go buy orthopedic tennis shoes so we can go to CMA Fest?
I don't even want to go there. I walk a lot for work, so I have a problem. My feet hurt a lot all the time. And she keeps telling me that spend money on shoes. You need to spend money on shoes.
Like, get good shoes.
And I buy shoes, and 3 months, I've worn them out, and they look still fairly new, but they're just worn out. They're no longer comfortable. I come home limping and in pain and all that. She keeps telling me, you need to get good shoes. You need to get good shoes. So we're getting ready to go to CMA Fest, and she's like, we're going to be doing a lot of walking. We both need to get some new shoes that are comfortable that we can walk around in.
Yeah.
Well, with the problems that I have with my feet and everything, and I'm a cheap ass. I don't like to spend a lot of money. And she's finally convinced me, you need to go look for some better shoes. Mm-hmm. So I went to 3 different shoe stores and could not find one pair of shoes that I liked. And she's like, oh, get this brand. The nurses swear by them.
Yeah, all my nurse friends are in love with Hokas.
Oh, yeah.
And I put them on, and I'm like, I don't see the hype, and I definitely, for that price, ain't no way in hell.
Yeah.
And after we made it to Dick's Sporting Goods. Yeah. And after 8 pairs of shoes that I tried on, and I'm like, none of them, they don't feel right. They're just not there. Finally, the guy at Dick's, he goes, because we was at the mall, and he goes,
this young guy.
Yeah, he goes, you need to go upstairs in the mall. There's a shoe store up there. I guarantee you they will take care of you. He goes, if I can't do it here with all these, go up to them. So we went up to the shoe store, and they actually had one of those machines that you stand on.
Oh, yeah.
And actually scans the bottom of your feet and everything. And the guy's like, well, there's your problem.
Yeah.
You got this on this side. You got this on. You're just completely out of balance. So we got to get you back into balance. And also, you realize that you have an extra wide foot. So if you've been trying, even if you've tried wide shoes and you said they felt tight, well, that's why. You need an extra wide shoe. And I'm like, well, those are hard to find. He said, well, lucky for you, we have them in stock.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right. And he goes, but in order to get you into balance, on top of these shoes, we need to get you inserts for, but you need 2 different inserts, one on the left and one on the right. They're not the same. So that way we're going to, give you off balance, inserts, but they're going to put you back into balance.
Long story short, they tried to give me the inserts too. I was smart enough to say, how much these insoles cost? He said, $80. I said, a piece? He said, no, that's for both of them. Like he was getting me a good deal, know. And I'm like, well, they feel great, but no. I just bought me a pair of Hokas yesterday. I just can't splurge for no. Mm-hmm. So, long story short, we walk up the cash register. He's got a pair of Hokas and these insoles. $250 later, we walked out of there, but he wasn't limping anymore.
He's walking on there now. I saw him out there skipping and stuff.
Yeah.
I can honestly say I've been walking all day. We've been all over the place. And for the first time in a long time, my feet don't hurt, my back don't hurt, my hips don't hurt.
There's a lot to be said for it, man.
But But I'm sitting there, I'm shaking my head. I'm like,
He was almost in tears.
I have bought some really nice boots, work boots, and I've never spent that much money on a pair of shoes in my life. But so far, I gotta tell you, she's winning this argument.
I won.
Yeah, sometimes it's
saying.
hard to put a price tag on the comfort. The rest, like
You
what
know,
it'll do
honestly,
for the rest
yeah.
of you. Yeah, because I agree. There's times where I'm like, I don't really want to do that, and it's like, you do it, and you're like, I feel a lot better, and that's
Yeah.
hard to put a price tag on that sometimes when you can wake up in the morning. and
Well,
feel good.
Yeah, exactly.
A lot of older people back when I was younger said, you can never underestimate the value of a comfortable pair of shoes.
Yep, that's wisdom. That's wisdom.
Holy cow, Monica.
What?
Monica said $250 is cheap. Hers cost $800.
Oh.
Holy cow. Well, I hope they're worth it, Monica.
I'd have had a stroke if they'd have told. I'd have been like, no, thank you. No, thank you. And the guy really tried to make me feel better because, I was wearing my Marine Corps hat at the time. And he's like, oh, you're a veteran. You get 25% off. I was thinking that was a good deal. And thank God I got that because I think if I wouldn't have got a discount on that, I don't think I could have pulled the trigger on it. I don't think I could have done it.
I was just impressed you were not asking prices before, because normally he won't even, they'll be like, this is what you need. No, wait a minute. It's like buying a car for him. He's like, no, wait a minute. Don't even show it to me. How much is it? He didn't even ask this time. I was amazed.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Well, all I can say is those guys, they double teamed me, by the way.
They did. They were good
double teamed me on the sales pitch. And if they would have selling me a used car, I'd have bought the damn used car.
They go good salesman, bad salesman on you?
Oh no, it was,
the quiet one and the talkative one.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The
And
aloof and the into it, right? The one guy's
Yeah.
like, well, if you want to, it's up to you. And the other guy's like, you need these shoes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
trust me, you will not
a good
regret
tactic.
this.
It's a good tactic.
I'm telling you, you're going to want another pair.
Yeah.
So, and then he's like, what do you do for Well, did you know that HUUUMMPP makes work boots as well? And I'm like, I can't imagine that price. I'm like, no, thank you. I think I'll just stick with the tennis shoes today.
Right. Well, Rick the Stick is out there. He said he's finally coming out of horrible traffic in Atlanta. Imagine that. Atlanta traffic being horrible.
Rick the Stick, he's our other.
That's right.
There's a honk for him.
That's right.
I'm driving that way tomorrow morning, actually.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, good luck.
I hate Atlanta traffic.
Yeah, I'm hoping to avoid as much of the traffic as possible, so we'll see.
Avoid them from like 7 a.m. to, 10, 11?
Something like that. I know
Yeah,
whenever
I think I should be right in that sweet spot just after 10 is my plan.
Yeah, that's
Whenever we
cool.
go down to Panama City, I refuse to drive down through Atlanta. We go out the other way and down through Alabama because
Yeah.
I'm like, I know it may be a little longer, but in the end, I'm not sitting still. I'm at least moving.
Yeah, I was weighing those routes this morning. I was checking it out
Right.
which way I was going to go. Yeah.
Well, Patty with an eye said now that Rick's on, she would like you to explain again how you came up with your name.
Oh, sure. This is for Rick. This is for you, Rick. So Rick, I used to live in Pittsburgh when I started writing songs. And in Pittsburgh, there's the three rivers there. The Monongahela, the Allegheny, and the Ohio River. So I took a couple letters from each of those rivers, put them into one word, Manalo. Because it sounded like Mahalo. It had a good ring to it. But
Yeah.
it also pays homage to Pittsburgh, where I got my start. So
That's awesome.
Which, of course, they're from up in that area. So,
Yeah.
and, Rick is an Eagles fan, by the way.
Oh, that side of
yeah.
the state, yeah.
Yeah. Well, Michelle would like to know where you are headed next for your tour.
Sure. So next, tomorrow's Thursday. So Thursday, I'll be at East Point Beer in East Point, Florida, down on the
okay.
Panhandle. And then Friday, I'll be at Riviera Bar and Grill in Punta Gorda, Florida. And then Saturday, I'm back home in Cape Coral at my little local brewery there called 8 Foot Brewing. So those are the last 3 stops on the tour. Yeah.
Awesome. Are you going over towards, do you have anything planned over towards Memphis area?
Not this trip, no. So this trip was really, I was trying to get home. So this was stopping in here in Tennessee was kind of the bridge between, I was in Northern Virginia Monday night. I had yesterday off and just kind of enjoyed the drive down 81. It was beautiful.
Yeah.
A little hazy. I didn't realize, I just learned about the Canadian wildfires.
Yes.
Yes, and it's not too far away from Monica and them.
Oh,
yeah.
really? Oh, I didn't know what was going on. It was super hazy the whole drive, but it was a beautiful drive still with the sunset and everything. So I took yesterday off, and then today I'm here, and then a couple Panhandle shows, and work my way back home to Cape Coral, Florida. But well, I'm always open to suggestions. If anybody wants to hear me anywhere, hopefully you can find me on the social medias that we spoke of.
Well, that'd be my next question. Where can they find your music? And if they want to book you, how do they do that?
Absolutely. So my music can be found pretty much wherever you stream or listen to music, on Tiki Man especially. But it's Spotify, Apple, Bandcamp, Amazon, Google Music, all of those, and probably a couple others that I can't remember. It's Monallo, Monallo, and my website's monallomusic.com, and I have links to everything on that site where you can find music, including all the sites, all the various like radio stations that stream the music. I put links up there because we all I switch up which station I use for break music and stuff. I think it's a fun way to keep promoting music back. And then my website has a little shop tab if you want a physical copy, and a little contact tab if you're interested in doing some booking or letting me know where I should be playing. You're always free to message me on Facebook or Instagram, and I like to make stuff happen. So if you send me a couple ideas, this year's a little tight, but I'm already looking ahead to next year, and I'd love to see new places and meet new people. But I haven't been out to the Memphis area.
So on your website, are they able to get some of this cool Monallo swag on that website as well?
They can get all the swag on the website. All the swag's available. Actually, I think minus the koozies. Koozies, that's an in-person thing, I feel. I've always just given those out when I meet people. If somebody seems really into the music, and as a thank you, that's kind of my thank you. So it's the only thing I don't have for sale, just because they go kind of fast when you're out on the road meeting people. But everything else, it's on the shop tab. You can get. We got some hats like B-Dawg.
I like it.
Wait, I gotta unwrap my shirt too. So I can...
that's true. And then we got the tote bags actually are up there, and the shirts, and some water bottles, and those like 30-ounce tumbler things, and
physical copies of the CD.
Physical copies,
And so the ambassador said, if you do come to Memphis, you've always got a place to stay.
Hey, she's
got a shirt too. All right, so hold on. Wait, let me make sure the size isn't showing. Y'all know how I am.
It's nice and hidden. That's what I like about these shirts.
Nice.
I love the wave on the back.
That is cool.
I call this my Rough Seas shirt. The first single I put out from the
there's
record.
Larice, and she's modeling hers
there
as
we go.
well.
There you go.
Look at that.
What a shirt. What a shirt. Looks great.
I think I know that guy.
I think I might have to wear mine at CMA Festival.
That'd be awesome.
I think you will.
That'd be awesome,
Well, Eric also says, did you know there's a fourth river that meets at the confluence?
I did. It's the underground one. So
Rick, he's on it.
I did know that. I have bachelor's and master's degrees in environmental science. So I used to be an environmental scientist when I first started making music, and then it got a little too much, so I stopped doing that job. But
and he said I did okay in school.
I can't remember the name.
What is it? I
can't remember the name.
On this show we have had civil engineers who become musicians. Now we got environmental scientists. And what is?
That's awesome.
Wow, that's crazy. And because that's obviously a very good career in itself to be able to go out and follow your dream and your passion from a very successful career. That has something to be said about it.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I really enjoy the science behind it, but I enjoy doing it more for myself now than I did in a corporate setting.
Makes a big difference, doesn't it?
It got very tough when certain decisions had to be made, and now that I was talking about the nonprofit earlier, the Plastic Ocean Project. So that's where I kind of try and channel my environmental science background to is groups that are actively working to kind of just clean up the world. We only get one world, and I feel like no matter what your thoughts are on lots of stuff, everybody likes a clean beach and breathable air and that kind of stuff. So, so that's where I kind of channel all that energy now. But it was a career, and now it's more of a hobby and a passion. Yeah.
That's cool. That's
Nice.
really cool. They, Rick the Stick wants to know what gum bands are.
Gum bands. We talking
Gum
about those
bands.
the rubber bands that holds your vegetables together, or your papers. You know, they got the really thick ones on your veggies in the store. The giant eggles, if you're from the Pittsburgh area, right?
I love it.
You know,
I
I
love it.
swear, people in Pennsylvania have their own.
They really do.
Yeah,
They have their own language. It's a very different. You know, we try to say that being from where we are, that it's very similar. But the more I spend time and I listen to Rick and Patty,
Oh, yeah, no.
you people up in Pennsylvania are a breed all of your own.
Yep.
Well, I was on tour with my buddy Revezer, who's also from Pittsburgh, but now he lives up in Ithaca, and that's where we got our tour started, up in Ithaca, New York. And he was telling me before we played our first show that he's been starting to push yins on his friends. Because down here we got y'all, and up there it's yins. And,
Yes.
And so I was shocked we were in Ithaca, and I heard people saying yins. I was like, whoa.
So
And he's like, oh, I've been pushing it on my friends. I'm spreading it.
I do have
Yep.
one question for you. So you played several gigs around Pittsburgh and all that. I just have to. I got one word for you and see if you've ever played there. The Altar Bar.
Altar Bar, never played.
You remember that?
Never played there, but I've been to several shows, and now it's actually back to a church.
Yes, I
Is
heard.
it really?
Yeah, but I never played there. I played at Mr. Small's, which is
Okay.
similar idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've played at Mr. Small's a handful of times, probably 2 or 3 times at Mr. Small's. I never played Altar Bar, but I went to several shows at
Yeah,
Altar
we
Bar. That was a great
went there.
venue.
She
It really was.
Her in her previous life show, she managed an independent country artist who actually got a gig there.
Oh, awesome.
And so
Yeah,
you know,
opening for Craig Campbell.
Yeah, and he opened for Craig Campbell there.
That's awesome.
And the first time we walked in there, I'm looking around this place and I'm like, I feel like I'm going to go to hell.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm
I know,
like, this
I
just
know.
seems so sacrilegious that you did this. You turned a
And they
church
kept
into
the stained glass
a
windows
bar.
with the cross.
Yep.
It seems so sacrilegious. I mean, I'm like, I'll tell you what, I'm going to work the door. I'm going to stand out here. I don't know about going inside this place because I feel like I'm just going to burn by walking into it.
I tell you what, I had those thoughts there at first, but now I think it's way worse that it's a church again, because now
Right.
that building has seen some stuff that it can't come back from. And
Well,
That is true.
now they're trying to make it a church again. I'm like, I don't think that's a holy place
well,
anymore.
I'm definitely going to say they had to do some really deep cleansing.
Yeah.
For sure, because I remember it was a weird night there because, you know, you have 2 country acts, and then immediately following the country acts,
The late night show.
the late night show was a drag fashion show. And
A
it was
gothic.
a gothic drag fashion
drag
show.
fashion show.
And
Yeah.
it was just like on country music night, you got
All these people start
Wow.
filtering in at the end of the night. We're all
Yeah.
like, what is about to happen?
Yeah.
Like, they,
Yeah, it was a very different crowd from the country music
Oh, yeah.
crowd was
Yeah,
there.
it was cool.
And only thing I could say at that point in time, I was just like, only in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a heck of a venue. It was so convenient, too.
It
was
was.
right there in the city. And when I lived in Pittsburgh, I lived very in the city. And yeah, Altar Bar was just so convenient to get to. And they had so many big names come through
they
there.
did.
Yeah, they did.
And Mr. Smalls was cool, too. We went there to see Jimmy Wayne.
Okay, very cool.
and yeah.
Mr. Smalls is great. It's a little bit further out, but it's a great venue. And
Yeah.
yeah.
Did you ever hear of Poverty Neck Hillbillies?
I don't think so, no.
They were from down around that area, weren't they?
Yep.
They're from down there?
Yep.
Huh.
And isn't the
Joe Zellick played there.
the Stickers were from Pittsburgh?
Stickers,
were
yeah.
from Pittsburgh. Never heard of
Stickers
them.
either, no.
They were kind of a.
They might have been before your time.
I'd say
They-
I was kind of
yeah.
in my own little bubble, but yeah.
We are old, you know, so there's.
Yeah. So Patty with an Eye wants to know where she can buy a shirt.
A shirt, manolamusic.com/shop, or if you go to manolamusic.com, the shop tab is at the top. They both take you to the same spot, and there should be a couple of shirt options on the shop tab.
There you go,
Yes.
Patty.
Yeah, and
Nice.
so I think this one might be the shirt that was shown might be labeled as men's, but it's actually unisex.
Right.
That's been a little misleading because there's a women's shirt as well, but that blue one, it's the unisex one, and actually
Okay.
it seems to be the better shirt of the two. Cool. Little insider tip.
Yeah, there you go. So buy the unisex one.
Yeah.
All righty. Any more questions, comments, or concerns, as
That's
they
it
would
for
say?
right now. Can we hear some more music?
That's a big question right
Cool.
there.
We can hear more music.
All right.
We can hear more music.
Because we love, that's the one thing we love about doing the artist spotlights and bringing artists in here is, number one, I don't have to create a playlist at all for a show, which makes life easy on me. But we also get to hear some great live music as well. So
Very cool. Yeah, so this one, I'll do that song that I was talking about earlier. You have time for 2 more songs or 1 more song?
sure, you got.
All right.
Oh, we got time for 2.
All right. Just trying to choose my set list in my
No,
head
you're
here.
good.
Yeah, this is that song I was talking about. I had that lyric. This is one of the few songs I started with a lyric. When I moved to Florida last year, it's kind of crazy during your first hurricane season, just thinking about it, and then it's everywhere where you look, or you turn on the news and there's trackers, and the fact that we name storms kind of blew my mind. It's just so funny. We give them human names, and like last year there was a storm that was named after my brother's girlfriend and my wife's name, and it's just funny to see human names that on the storm list, and then roll through your areas. And
We were watching an interesting thing on the Weather Channel about how they do that.
Really, yeah.
Yeah, I did not realize that there's actually 6 revolving lists.
Yeah.
And I had no clue about that until then, because that was always my big question. How the heck do they choose the names? But
And
they're
then
predetermined, but 6 lists that just rotate from year to year.
And then if it's a really bad one, they'll retire.
Those are eliminated from
Yeah.
the list. I never knew that.
But yeah, it's so crazy. And so I just kept thinking about that, throughout all of hurricane season. And the lyric that I came up with was, like, they say I'm a hurricane, just waiting at sea to get a name. It's kind of as a person, like a never do gooder, we can't ever get it right. And then living in Cape Coral, we did get hit by Ian last year pretty hard. And so we were without power for quite some time. And so, a lot more people in the area that had been there longer wrote much more like uplifting hurricane songs about, strength and resolve. And they were awesome, incredible songs. But this was kind of my hurricane song that came out of that. I wrote this one by a little lantern light when we didn't have power one night. And I couldn't sleep. So it's called The Great Unknown. They say that I'm a hurricane, waiting at sea just to get a name. But where would I go? Well, I never know. I got no control. I traveled from sea to sea, saw lands where no one wanted me. Yeah, what could I say? I can't lay no blame. I wouldn't want me to. Well, if I had my way, I would have ended this a long time ago. We'll set sail for open water in the great unknown. I was born into the wind and waves. I'll never know no other way. What can I say? I gotta get to the sea, and then I'll be free. I never realized my own strength. I begged the winds to take me away, but where would I go? Well, honey, I don't know, 'cause I got no home. Well, if I had my way, I would have ended this a long time ago. We'll set sail for open water
great unknown. I'll fade out to the open sea. When I'm gone, no one will think of me. Yeah, but that's okay. I'll find my peace, and it'll set me free. Well, if I had my way, I would have ended this a long time ago. We'll set sail for open water in the great unknown. Thank you.
Absolutely love that.
Thank you very much. Yeah, that one. That's one of the more recent ones I wrote. I just wrote it, last October or September while we were in the dark. But yeah, so that was the later edition. But I'm glad I threw it on the record.
Yeah, I mean, it's sad that your motivation had to come from where it did.
Right.
But are you guys recovering well down there?
Yes, yeah. So it seems, things are, personally things, we were okay. We had a little bit of flooding. I had to replace our roof, that kind of stuff. But overall, we were okay and better off than some, unfortunately. But generally, the area is getting back together. So it's great to see. So
Good.
Yeah, it's been great to see people come together.
Absolutely.
The ambassador would like to know what is one of your most memorable or impactful collaborations?
Ooh.
That's a good question.
Yeah. Listen to her getting deep.
That's
I
a
know.
great question. Unfortunately, the answer is I haven't done a ton of collaborations yet. But probably the most impactful was one of the first one I ever did. And it was when I was in college and I was only 19 years old. And I was invited to do a write for a woman who had passed away suddenly, and they threw together a benefit concert for her family at the last minute, and it was all people that had gone to high school with her and known her family. And I only got invited as a friend of a friend of a friend, just because they're like, oh, he can play acoustic guitar, and he's a little bit of a songwriter. And I was like, okay. So I showed up with kind of this who's who of Pittsburgh talent.
Wow.
And at the time, it was really cool experience. And so there were 9 or 10 of us in a room, and we wrote and cut a song in a day.
Oh, wow.
And then we sold copies of the album, and then we had a benefit show, and I think we were able to raise enough money to pay their mortgage for a year.
Oh, how amazing.
So that's hard to beat. But that's, I've kind of done a lot of solo writing since I haven't really collaborated, but that's still gonna be a tough one to beat, because I remember, I was really young. I was 19 or so when we did that, and that kind of hit a special spot where it was cool to use music for something cool rather than to just get into a bar that I couldn't get into, Right. So that was really something special.
That would be a good lesson on how powerful music can be, for sure. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That is a great story.
Yeah. That is a hard story to beat.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's hard to beat. I've done, I really love live music collaboration. If there's a band that I like and I'm playing and I see them out there, I'm like, oh, get up here. And like, oh, I don't know. I'm like, it's in the key of A. You're a better guitar player than me. Get up here. There's no excuses. So I love those kind of collaborations too. But if we're talking impactful, that one's going to be a tough one to beat.
Yeah.
Well, I can definitely tell, with the music that we've listened to and you recorded, that you've played, and just meeting you, I'm sure that here in the near future there's not going to be any shortage of people wanting to collaborate with you, because your writing and your storytelling ability is very, very powerful as well.
Oh, thank you very much. And I'm open to it. I'm looking forward to it. We were talking earlier, I've met a lot of great people since kind of joining this Coastal Americana or Trop Rock community. And yeah, it's been great. I'm looking forward to meeting people more and running into them more and having schedules aligned where we can be in the same place at the same time to work together on something. Yeah, it'd be really cool.
Absolutely.
Well, as our time is quickly running down.
I can't believe how fast tonight has gone.
It has
Seriously.
went really fast.
By. Yeah.
But I want to remind everybody where they can get your music, where they can get your swag, and where they can check out where you're going to be. So if they want to get out and catch one of your shows in person, we want them to be able to know where to go.
Absolutely. So yeah, the website, manalamusic.com, has links to a lot of stuff. You can stream my music on Spotify, Apple, Google, Amazon, whatever else the streaming apps there are out there. Manalo is spelled Monallo. The newest record I put out 2 weeks ago is called In the Clouds. The one that's called By the Sea, and those are the two that you can hear under the Manalo name right now.
And you can get a physical copy of the CD. A lot of musicians aren't doing that anymore.
No.
And we have had several of our listeners and us personally are like, we like, yes, we stream music, but the artists get so much more for their work that they deserve from a physical copy.
Yeah.
And it's cool to keep as a souvenir.
Well, and that's one thing the Tiki Man has always pressed, because he built the radio station on the independent singer-songwriters.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, you can go out and you can download and stream these places, but that ain't doing you no good.
Yeah.
If you can go have a website that you can go to, buy a physical copy of that album, you may get a little bit of a treat with an autograph or something on it when you get it back, but that money's going to the artist versus the percentage of a penny that you may get from a streaming service. That for people to really support the artist, like, is to go out there and go to your site and get stuff directly from you. And he's always promoted that from the word go. And I tell you, Tiki Man Radio listeners are very, very good about that.
Yeah,
for sure.
That's awesome. And even if you don't want a CD, I actually printed digital download cards this time too.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
If you just don't want the clutter of a CD, or you don't even have a way to whatever, but it's just the album art, and it just has a download card on the back and links to where you can find it online. But
cool.
Give Manalo a follow on Instagram or Facebook.
I like that. Give Manalo a follow.
Give Manalo a follow on Instagram or Facebook, or the social medias there, and that's where I post most often where I'm at, and I have a schedule on my website too that I try and update as much as possible. But yeah, the social medias, and you can listen to it on Tiki Man Radio too. Give it a request.
Absolutely.
And I got a couple songs out there on Tiki Man Radio. So
yeah, you do.
Yeah, find me, give Manalo a follow, and hope to see you guys all soon.
Well, we definitely appreciate you coming through and sitting with us and giving us the opportunity to get to know you,
Thank you.
and listen to your music live, because we're definitely have become big fans.
Thank you.
Sure.
Yeah, I really appreciate all that you guys do for music, especially independent people like me. And it's great that I can come in here on a Wednesday night in between cities and hang out. We're going to have a great time.
Anytime.
I really appreciate it. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, and we hope you're able to come back through at some point in time.
Absolutely.
We already told you about a little summer party that's going on. That if you're he has family close by. we found that out. So there's no excuse.
I know.
That's right.
I know.
That's right. You've got plenty of places to stay here.
Yeah, if we do our best to guilt you into stuff around here.
Well,
a little
fine.
peer pressure.
I give in to peer pressure a little too easily, so that's all good.
Well, before we end the show, we need to make sure that we give you the latest JBL Legends Travel Minute.
And now, Tiki Man Radio is proud to present the JBL Legends Travel Moment with Joe Leo. Take it away, Joe.
Good morning, everybody. It's Joe Leo with the JBL Legends Travel Group, here with this week's Travel Minute. Now, last week we talked about cruises and Norwegian Cruise Line, and this week I want to talk about Royal Caribbean Cruise Line. However, before I start, I noticed a lot of comments from last week's show, and then I heard some comments made on Tropical Country Wednesday night. And comments were, I can't take a cruise, I'll be bored. Cabins are too small. I'm going to get motion sickness, and a boat's just not for me. Let me start with the boat's just not for me. This is not a boat, this is a ship. You can put a boat on a ship, but you can't put a ship on a boat. And when you're on a ship, you get ship-faced. Oh, I'm only kidding. Anyway, so going to be bored. You're not going to be bored. The cruise lines that I'm talking about have so much stuff to do. Rock climbing walls, tennis, basketball, wave riders, all kinds of entertainment, rope climbing. There's all kinds of stuff to do on the ship. Plus, if you want to play bingo or participate in one of the game shows. But the best part really is that every day when you wake up, you're in a different port. So you're going to get to see a lot of different destinations, and you're only going to have to unpack once. As far as getting motion sickness, if you have never been on a cruise ship before, I would always suggest to you that you be midship, somewhere around deck 10, 11, or 12, and in the middle of the ship, not forward, not aft. You'll feel the least amount of motion, and there are motion sickness bands and patches that can go behind your ear. However, you're not going to know that until you take your first one. You probably have experienced some kind of motion sickness on a catamaran or a small fishing boat. Ships are a lot different, and they have these stabilizers that keep the motion to a minimum. As far as the cabins being small, if you haven't been on a cruise in a long time, the cabins have changed a lot. They're 375 square feet. There's a nice sized bathroom, and you can always upgrade from the regular balcony rooms up into what they call mini suites or club suites, which are just a little bit bigger with a balcony. Or you can stay in an inside room. So it's definitely something everybody should definitely try once. And you're either going to love it or you're going to hate it. That's the opinions that I get from all of our clients. So now let's talk about Royal Caribbean. So Royal Caribbean is one of the other big cruise lines, just like Norwegian. They have about 27 different ships. They depart from all the ports in the New York, New Jersey area, like Boston, Bayonne. They have one in Baltimore. They also have a ton of them in Florida, Fort Lauderdale, Miami, Orlando, Tampa. And then you also have Galveston, Texas, Los Angeles, New Orleans. So they have a variety of ports to leave from. For us here in the New York, New Jersey area, we can drive down to Baltimore, which is about 3.5 hours away, or we can drive up to Bayonne. From us, it's about a half hour, or we can go into up to Boston if we don't want to take that trek up there. But a lot of cruises leave out of here, out of Bayonne, New Jersey, and a lot of our clients in this area sail out of there. So whatever port is closest to you, unless you feel like coming over this way, or go down to Florida. They have a program where they award you with points for as many cruises you take. There's this called Crown and Anchor Society, and you build up levels of points, and those points give you, free bottles of wine, upgrade cabins, et cetera, as you advance through the Crown and Anchor Society. One of the great things is they have these weekend cruises. They're 3 nights. They're out of either Miami, Fort Lauderdale, or Orlando. And those are 3-night cruises that basically just go to Nassau in the Bahamas and then over to their private island, which is called Coco Cay. Now, Coco Cay is a playground all among itself. It's got water slides, a couple of pools. You've got the ocean there, zip lines, et cetera, et cetera. It's a great weekend getaway if you want to take the kids and go over there for just, a Friday to a Monday or something like that. Again, they sail out of Miami, Fort Lauderdale, and Orlando. Now, Royal Caribbean also has a variety of restaurants that are complimentary, that are included with your cruise fare. And then there are a la carte restaurants, which cost extra. However, they do have the opportunity to buy a dinner package, which ranges about $100 or so. You can buy a 2-dinner package to go to those a la carte restaurants. There's also the drink package, which, as I mentioned last week, the drink package on Norwegian. Right now, it's on a promotion. You get it for free. You pay the tax and gratuity. On Royal Caribbean, there's a couple of different ones. There's a refreshment package, a soda package, and then the alcohol package. And those range anywhere between $15 a day up to $89 a day, depending on what you want, plus tax and gratuity. What I do want to mention right now about Royal Caribbean, is currently for the month of June, there are 30% off all cruises and kids sail free. So if you have any questions about Royal Caribbean, give me a call or any cruise line, give me a call at JBL Travel Group at 732-831-5200, or visit our website and click on the cruise tab, and you'll see all the different cruise lines there with information about some of their upcoming sailings. Anyway, have a great day. This has been Joe Leo with the JBL Legends Travel Group with this week's Travel Minute.
Thanks, Joe. Always travel with someone you trust. JBL Legends Travel and Joe Leo. Reach out to him at 732-831-5200, the official travel company of Tiki Man Radio.
That's right. And also, if you want to learn more about the 3rd annual Tiki Man Radio Escape to Paradise, you can also contact Joe at 732-831-5200. The trip going out is going to the Dominican Republic. And the great thing with JBL Legends Travel, $100 reserves your room. And you have up until February to pay that trip off. And it is a very affordable trip, all-inclusive. And it's going to be a great time with the Tiki Man Radio crew. We also need to let you know about what's going on and what's coming up right here at Tiki Man Radio.
Here's your weekly lineup for Tiki Man Radio. Mondays from 6 to 8 p.m., get on the Peace Train with Ed the Train Man, live from Crown Point, Indiana. Wednesdays, it's Where the Boots Meet the Beach with Tropical Country with B-Dawg and Lou, streaming live on the MFG Tropical Live Cam from the Chocolate Bar Studios from 7 to 9 p.m. Fridays at noon, it's the local side of Key West with our concierge girl, Kelly, Tiki Man Radio's personal assistant in Key West. You're planning a trip to Key West, make sure you reach out to Kelly. Friday, starting at 8 p.m., it's Coastal Confessions with B-Man and Michelle from the Beachy Shell Studios in Key West. Live every Friday, having some fun with our friends and sharing great music. Saturdays, take a trip back in time with Jukebox Saturday mornings, starting at midnight and going to noon. This is where we open up the massive archives of the radio station and take you back to that old shaggin' music. Sundays, it's The Big Show, Sunday mornings with the Tiki Man starting at 10 a.m. Eastern Island Time, streaming live on the Island J Live Cam from the Chocolate Bar Studios in Harrison Bay. Come over and be part of the show. Later that afternoon on Sundays, starting at 5 p.m., it's Rick the Stick's Hometown Licks, sharing the music of his hometown. And later on Sunday, it's the Sound Man from Hell with Gary Eck, the Key West Show, live from Key West. That's your weekly lineup for Tiki Man Radio. Make sure you tune into all these great shows and keep listening to Tiki Man Radio and have some fun.
That's right. You do not want to miss a moment of all the exciting happenings here at Tiki Man Radio. It is wall-to-wall action and great music and fantastic guests like Manalo. Thank you so much for coming and joining us and performing for us and letting us to get to know you a little better.
It's my pleasure. Thank you so much for having me. It was great to be here, and we had a great conversation. Really flew by. I can't believe it. Yeah,
it did. I keep saying sooner or later we're going to have to find another sponsor, take this show to the third hour. But hopefully that may happen. But Lou and I, we are getting ready. We've already got our bags packed. They're in the car. As soon as we end the show and we do the little stuff, post-production things, we will
visit a little bit more, I hope.
Huh?
And visit a little
more. Yeah.
Yeah.
You got see. Normally, what happens is they get to go out and visit and take pictures and do all that, and I'm in here trying to finish up doing all the post production because I got to make sure that because on top of being live here on the Tiki Man Radio YouTube channel, courtesy of MFG Records Tropical, we also all the audio files are stored on SoundCloud. So immediately, give me about 20 minutes after the show, they can go over to SoundCloud and re-listen to the show, or you can watch the replay of the video right here, always, right on YouTube channel.
That's great.
But yeah, then
and feel free to share it from YouTube on your page if you have some folks who didn't get to tune in. Yeah, they can watch it.
Definitely will. Yeah.
And what the Tiki Man normally does, he's really good at that, is those little performances. He will usually go and cut those out and make them their own little individual video and post them on the channel. So, you know, we hope you want to tell your friends about the show and want them to watch the whole show. But if you just want to beat the time and they just want to watch the performances, that's an easy way for them just to click on and watch those songs that you performed. So,
Great.
So And they're up there forever in the Tiki Man Radio archives.
Beauty of the internet.
That's right.
It absolutely is.
Blessing and a curse.
Yeah,
So-
exactly.
All right, I got my walking shoes on. Do you have your walking shoes
I
on?
do.
All right. Like I said, the bags are packed. It's time to go. And just like that, anything you want to, any words of wisdom or anything that you want to give?
Just want to tell everybody to, keep an eye on Facebook this weekend.
Yes.
We're going to be doing some lives.
That's right.
Going to be.
We'll be doing some lives on the Tiki Man Radio Facebook
Yes.
page, as well as our group page, Tropical Country with B-Dawg and Lou on Tiki Man Radio.
That's right.
We're
So-
we're not gonna post everything on Tiki Man Radio site because we don't want to bombard, because he's got a lot of important stuff from other people
Right.
going on over there. So we will put some live stuff and some
Yep.
snippets, some pictures over on our Facebook group as well. And we are going to get tons of video pictures. We promise.
I'm
And-
not promising I'm going to
well,
look pretty,
you know,
but I promise there's
all
going
that
to be lots of
problems we've
stuff
had
coming.
with audio and everything. We have bought microphones.
We're ready.
I got a 20-pound backpack I got to carry all around the streets of Nashville just so we can make sure we capture all the action for you. So,
That's right.
But in between now and then, we will see you back here next Wednesday, same time, same bat channel. We got everybody up there so we can say goodbye. We'll see you next
Bye,
week,
everybody.
guys.
Goodbye. Thank you.
I know it's been a lot of fun, but the set list is all done. The night was very loud and you've been a good crowd, but you know it's time to run. You've all been very kind, thank you for your time. You put me to the test as I try to address all of your requests for the night. As we look to the moon and the manager's protocol. Oh, I don't ever want to end, but for now, my friends, last song, last call. A spirit with his clientele, and the drinks are flowing well. A beer sent from the bar and a healthy tip jar. And some tunes that I can sell. It's been a cool room, but it's ending too soon. And they remember to tip the bartender as they surrender to the tab. And they lip sync to the lyrics that they used to recall. Anytime I gotta say those words, oh no, last song, last call. Some came as ones and left by twos. Some still are dancing in their shoes. I break down the gear as we wind it up here. After the last song that I choose, it's the last rhyme near closing time. The final round poured as I strum the last chords, and the guitar returns to the case. Needless to say, it was a pleasure to play for you all. Here's to toast to everyone as I finally say last song, last call. Here's a toast to everyone as I finally say last song,